This is in Revelation 7 and verse 1. And it reads, "And after these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea." All right, so they were given the power for destruction. All right, which is what going to be that final, the final trumpet, which is going to be the nuclear fire, man. All right, that's going to be the final trumpet. All right, the seventh trump. It says, saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads," man. All right, so you see, so none of this is going to happen until the elect is sealed. You see, the 144,000. So when Esau sees this, he knows that we're one step closer to that 144,000 being sealed. All right. Esau knows we're one step closer to that 144,000 being sealed, man. All right, when he sees the brothers out here pushing this word out, and it's growing and growing, more people are coming into this faith. You see, Esau gets nervous at that, and it says, let me read that again, actually. "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads," man. All right, so until the elect is sealed, all right, until the 144,000 is sealed, then guess what? The angels are going to chill out. All right. It says, "And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel." So that's the elect. That's the one. That's 144,000. And we're the only ones who are able to learn this song. You see, because what we're doing is we're really singing a song spiritually. You see, but only the 144,000 are going to get it. All right. So this is what scares the elites. When Esau Edom sees this, he knows that he knows this prophecy. Okay, they read the scriptures, man. Don't let the elites fool you, man. They read the Bible. They understand that the Bible is true. They understand that we're the Israelites, right? They know that. They know that they're Edomites. Okay. The Rothschilds know that they descend from the house of Esau. You see, they know who the Ishmaelites are. They know who the Elamites are, and they know that we're the Israelites. They know this. Okay. So when they see this, they know that this is a threat to their power structure. Okay, because they know that like what I just read, the angels are being held back until the 144,000 is sealed. Okay, and what we're doing right now, the Most High is using us to seal the 144,000. That's the thing. And it says, right, and it goes down the list of all the 12,000 of each tribe, right? Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000, of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000, etc. and etc. All right. So this is what Esau does not want. Okay, because when the elect hears this truth, it's gonna click with them. They're gonna relate to it. It's gonna be in their spirit to accept this, man, and to want to be part of it. Okay, just like us, just like me. When I heard this truth, man, my eyes were wow. I was in awe first and foremost because they were breaking down everything that I knew. All right, and then I was like, this is what I've been looking for my whole life. This is what in my spirit I knew was the truth. You understand? So when the elect hears this, that's what it's going to do to them. This is Revelations 14 in verse 1. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion," right? That's Yahushua, "and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne. And this is what we're singing. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm singing that new song, all right? Because these people, they never heard anything like this before, right? They didn't know that who the Edomites were. They didn't know that who the Israelites were. They didn't know that the Most High was only dealing with the Israelites, you know, etc., etc., okay? But this new song that we're singing, only the 144,000 are going to be able to learn it, you see? And it says, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, right? Which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, right? And when it says when they were not defiled with women, it doesn't mean that they were virgins, man. It means that they weren't defiled with other philosophies, all right? Women are also symbolized as philosophies in the scriptures. Just like the truth is symbolized as a woman, you see? When you look up, I believe, truth in Greek, it's Sophia in Greek. The name is Sophia, you see? Because it's really representative of, it's really representing or symbolically as a woman, okay? And it says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins spiritually, not physically, man. They're not physical virgins, man. All right? King David wasn't no virgin, man. King David had multiple wives. You see? King Solomon had multiple wives. But King David was a man after the Most High's heart. All right? And King Solomon was promised to have a kingdom forever, you see? Which if you can receive it, because he was Yahushua. All right? He's the Lord. All right? King Solomon came back as the Lord. All right? And it says, these are they which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. All right? So these are the first fruits, the first created besides Yahushua. Okay, Yahushua is the only begotten Son, because he was created by the Heavenly Father himself. But when Yahushua did, he created everything else, every other spirit, right? So we were the first spirits created, if we're of that number, Lord willing. Okay, the 144,000 are of the first spirits created. You see, that's why they're called the first fruits, right? And according to the law, what are you supposed to do with the first fruits? You're supposed to offer it to the Most High. Okay, so that's why the 144,000 belonging to the Heavenly Father, because we're that first cluster, right? Okay. Lord willing, I be of that number. Okay. And it says, and in their mouth was found no guile. Okay. For they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. And the scripture says, "What blessed is he whose sins is who the Most High does not charge his sin," or roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So that's the elect, because in their spirit they want to do the right thing. You see, in their spirit they're right, they're perfect. You see, but right now through the flesh, obviously we're not perfect. You see, let's get it. And it says, and I saw another angel flying to the. Salak, let me read that again. It says, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. All right, so. That's it, man. In the sight of Yahweh Shem Al Shai, the elect are perfect. You see? They're pure. Okay? But really in the flesh, guess what? We're in the flesh. So obviously we're not in the flesh, but in the spirit we are. And what we're doing right now, what he's doing right now, is he's perfecting us in the spirit. Okay? He's perfecting us in the spirit. Okay? And that goes into what? Zechariah. Right? That fire. Which is used to what? To perfect us. This is Zechariah 13 and 8. This is Zechariah 13 and 8, and it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Right? So they're being purified, right? Because when you put the silver in the fire, you put gold in the fire, it comes out on the other side in a pure state. You see, it burns out all the the imperfections, the impurities. You see, that's what's happening to the elect. Okay, it says, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power, man. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is dealing with the elect. He's not dealing with 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Okay, he's not dealing with all of Israel. Okay, all right. He's not because they're wicked. All right. He created them to be taken, man, to be destroyed. Right. And like I said, that goes back to like I always say, that goes back to King David's curse, man. The Most High is honoring the curse that King David put upon 2/3 of Israel, right? Because he wanted them to be blind. He didn't want them to get the truth, all right? He wanted them to continue to be in wickedness, so that the Most High can destroy them, all right? That's how much he was fed up with Israel, okay? And you're gonna get fed up with Israel, man, because Israel's wicked. Israel don't get it, man. Israel's hard-headed, man, and they're just wicked. Just like when we were coming out of Egypt, you had Israelites murmuring, wanting to go back to Egypt after the Most High did all those miracles, man. Right? They wanted to stone Aaron. They wanted to make a golden calf again. You see, a false idol. After the Heavenly Father just delivered them. So Israel is hard-headed. You can't do nothing for Israel, man. You can't do nothing. You can't help these 2/3, right? They were destined for destruction. Okay. There's nothing you could do, there's nothing you could say to get them right now, because they were created to be destroyed. See? Like that, the time when I have to get that account, man. I don't know if I'm going to get it now, but I have to get that account eventually, maybe do a video on it. Israel, there was a point when the Most High told Israel to go out to battle, and they said, nah, we're not going to go up to battle. They're too big, they're too this, they're too that. But the Most High going to deliver them from worse, right? So the Most High was getting mad, so he's like, you know what, all right, fine, don't go. Forget about it, don't bother to go. And then the Israelites, and after he said that, they're like, oh, you know what, we're going to go, right? So the Most High told them, don't go, because I'm not going to be with you. You see? So they went anyway, man. That's how disobedient and stupid they are, man. All right? They decided to go and fight when the Most High said he wasn't going to be with them. That's how stupid and impudent they are. Okay? So what happened? They got slaughtered, man. They got murdered. And then they came back running. The Most High said, I told you not to go, so why did you go? You see? So that's an example of how stupid our people are, man. How hard-headed our people are. This is Romans 9. And I'll start at verse 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh of Mashiach came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever. Amen. So who did the Most High come for? Who is everything pertaining to? It's pertaining to the Israelites. That's what it's saying, man. The promises, the covenants, all right, the blessings, all that is pertaining to the Israelites. All right? And it says, not as though the word of the Most High had taken none effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel, man. All right? So not every Israelite is spiritually an Israelite. Okay? The only real Israelites right now is the elect. You see? That's the only real Israelites right now. Everyone else, the 2/3, really the elect, that's the only Israelites. The 1/3 and the 144,000. Right now, that's the only spiritual Israelites there are. Okay? But the 2/3, they're Israelites by blood. Okay? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're Israelites by blood, but 2/3 of you are not spiritually Israelites. Okay? You're not the Israelite, you're not the Israel of the Most High. Okay? That's the thing. You see? And the reason you're not the Israel of the Most High is because the Most High created you to be destroyed. All right? In this time. Right? It says all Israel will be saved. Yes, all Israel will be saved. But guess what? The 2/3 are going to come through the loins of the elect, through the seed of the elect. Okay? That's where the 2/3 are going to come. They're going to come back and enjoy the kingdom that way. But really, the kingdom is going to be a lot more sweet to the elect, because the elect is going to be able to transition from this world to that world. Okay? We're going to actually, the Lord willing, I be of that number. Whoever the elect is, they're going to transition from this current wicked, evil hellhole, and they're going to transition right to the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So it's going to be that much greater. It's going to be that much more appreciated. You see? When you have a lot of rainy days, you appreciate the sunny days more. Okay? If it was raining for 7 days straight, right? When that 8th day of sun and pure sunshine comes, people are going to be more happy than just a regular sunny day because they've been going through all that rain. Okay? That's what it's going to be like for the elect in the kingdom. See? After this hellhole, we're going to go directly into the kingdom of heaven. All right? So it's going to be that much more sweet. But the 2/3, they're going to be born into it. They're going to be born into privilege. You see? Right? Just like if you have money, you were born with money all your life. You had money, right? You didn't have to worry about nothing. All your bills were paid. You know, your father left you with $10 million of inheritance, and that's how you've been living since you were a baby on up. You don't really appreciate that money, like someone who was coming from straight poverty from the ghetto, right? You don't appreciate that money like that person. It's not as sweet to you. You might get $1 million. You might win the lottery, man, for like $10 million or $5 million. You're gonna be like, cool, I won the lottery. Oh yeah, I'm happy I won the lottery. But it's not gonna be a big thing to you, right? It's a big thing to who? The people who, the poor people, man, or the people who were not used to that. You see, that's what the kingdom is gonna be for the elect. That's gonna be the major difference. Okay. Right? So let's get Isaiah the 6th chapter real quick. This is Isaiah 6 in verse Isaiah 6 and 9. And it reads, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. All right? Make the heart of this people fat, and make their eyes heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Right? So the Most High said he wanted them to be deaf, spiritually deaf, spiritually blind, right? So that they could not hear this, man. So that they could not receive this, because if they receive this, then he would have to heal them, man. Which shows you what? He doesn't want to heal the 2/3. All right? He doesn't want to heal the 2/3, man. Okay? Because the 2/3 are wicked. Right? So when Jacob's trouble hits, the 2/3 still don't have any excuse. Even though the Most High did that. Because guess what? He put us out here. He had us out here to tell them what to do. All right? In order to escape that judgment. You see? If they would have hearkened unto us and come over here, right, and really understand this, they would have been healed. You see? So the Most High is justified in everything that he does, man. Okay? The fact that he destroyed the places that he, like Sodom and Gomorrah, he was justified in that. All right? The fact that he destroyed the earth with water, right, and left only Noah and his sons, he's justified in that. Okay? Because guess what? Noah was out there prophesying for what, over 100 years? But no one wanted to take heed of what Noah was saying. So what the Most High did was he destroyed them. See? Let's get Proverbs 1. Okay? He always gives you fair warning. This is Proverbs 1 and 20, and it reads, Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets, she crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying. Right? And that's where we are. We're in the chief parts of the city, right? All right? We're in the downtown of every major city. All right? You can find an Israelite group for the most part. All right? And what are we doing? We're telling you what the Most High said. Okay? We're telling you what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said for the Israelites to do, to get right. All right? And it says, she uttereth her voice in her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. All right, we're turning you away from that simple foolishness that you're used to. All right, and we're giving you wisdom. All right, so if you were to take heed to it, you would become wise. All right, but they don't want to take, 2/3 don't want to take heed. The only ones that are going to take heed is the elect. All right, the 144,000 along with the elect. Okay, and it says, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make my words known unto you. And he's making his words known unto you through us, man. He's not going to come to you, and knock on and ring your doorbell and come teach you the truth. Nah, man. He's going to send his men out here to teach you the truth. All right? His prophets. Okay? As he always did. All right? He always sent prophets out there to give you fair warning before something happened, before judgment took place. Right? But Israelites don't want to hear it. They don't want to take heed. All right? It says, turn you out my reproof, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make my words known unto you. So you have no excuse. You see? Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. You see? So since you didn't want to take heed to what the Most High was saying, all right? He's going to laugh, he's going to mock when your fear cometh, man. Okay? When that Jacob's trouble comes. Okay? He's going to mock. All right? When you're starving to death. When you have to turn to cannibalism, man. Okay? And eat your own children, the Most High is going to mock at you because you didn't take heed. You see? The Most High is merciful. He's very merciful. But on the other hand, he's very dreadful, man. All right? And terrible. You see? When it comes to judgment. It's a balance. It says, they shall call upon me. No, Slakia. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. All right? For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. That's why the Most High is going to reject them, because they didn't choose the fear of the Most High. We're showing them the fear of the Lord right now. All right? When we're giving them... What's up? I'm speaking to the camera. Oh, I'm speaking to the camera, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, so right? We're showing them the fear of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And they're not receiving it. So what's going to happen to them? The Most High is going to bring that judgment upon them. Okay? And it says they were none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of the fool shall destroy them. All right. So the Most High is only going to allow the ones who hearken unto Him to be delivered. And it says, "But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil." That's the thing, man. You Jakes are not going to be quiet from fear of evil because you're not hearkening unto the Most High. You see, if you were to hearken unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you'd be cool. You'd be good. Okay, you'd have that hedge of protection. All right, but you're not hearkening, man. You're not doing the things that Yahweh Shem Yahushua told you to do. Okay, if you did, then guess what? He would deliver you. Let's get what's that? Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. I'll start at verse 12. And it reads, "Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall bow down, ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer." The same thing that we're doing out here, we're calling unto you, man. All right? Really, it's the Most High calling unto you through us, man. You see? All right? "When I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty." All right? So that's going to happen to the elect in that time, man. When there's a shortage of food, the elect is going to be eaten, man. They're going to be okay, all right. But you 2/3, you Israelites that didn't want to take heed, you're going to be starving to death, man. All right. When that sword comes down, when the government starts to shut down these cities, right? It starts to give you an ultimatum between putting you to death or putting you in jail indefinitely, or taking a microchip. You Israelites are going to have to face that, man. All right? You Israelites are going to have to face that. But the elect is going to be protected from that, you see? All right? And it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right? So all the things that are going to happen to you in that time, it's going to be a turning of the tables. You see? Because right now, Israel, they mock at it, they fan the hand at it, right? They look at it as nothing. But in that time, guess what? We're going to be mocking at you. You see? Why? Because you're going to be, the judgment that we've been telling you about is going to take hold of you. Okay? While we're going to be cool. You see? Because we trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Right? And there's power in the name of Yahweh. All right? What Yahweh Shai. Okay? There's power in those names. You see? The only way for us to get to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, we have to pray through Yahweh Shai, His Son. You see? But the only ones, but it's more than that, okay? Because the only ones that are going to be able to be delivered by that name are the ones who actually do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? You have to do actions. You can't just say it, man. You can't just hear it and believe it. You got to actually do action. Okay? You have to actually show your faith through action. Okay? It says, matter of fact, let me get Proverbs 10, man. Proverbs 18:10. It's Proverbs 18, verse 10. And it says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe, man. You see? The name of the Lord is a strong tower, right? And the righteous runneth into it and is safe, right? If you're wicked, if you're just into doing wickedness and at the last minute you're trying to call on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The scriptures also say that there shall be many that say, Lord, Lord, right? And I say, Lord, Lord, have I not prophesied your name, and have I not done prophesied in your name and such and such, right? And he's going to say, I never knew you. Get from me, okay? So it's more than to just know the name, all right? You have to know the name, but you have to be trying to do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai at the same time. You see? There's more to this truth than just calling upon the name. But the name is of utmost importance. Okay? You see? It's of utmost importance, because if you don't have that name, then there's really no hope for you, man. This is I'll start at verse 10. This is Acts 4 and verse 10. It reads, be it known unto you all and to all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach of Nazareth, who ye crucified, whom the Most High raised from the dead, even by him doth this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of the builders, which is become the head of the corner. All right? Because who are the builders? The builders is speaking about the Pharisees and the 2/3 of Israel at that time, right? The wicked Israelites at that time. They put the cornerstone aside, you see? But that was the most important stone that there was for the building, you see? Which is who? Yahweh Shai. And it says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. You see, there's no other name under heaven. You see, whereby we must be saved. So you calling upon Christ and Jesus, these false names, right? The Most High is not, Yahushua is not hearing you, and the Most High is not hearing you. You see, you have to call upon His true name, and there's only one true name. It doesn't change, right? You can't translate a name. You can only transliterate it. That's why we spell it Y-A-H-A. W-A-S-H-I. You see? Yahushua. That's transliteration. But you can't translate it. You can't change it from one language to another. You see? It's not possible. Okay? And when you do that, you're really making a mistake, because He's not going to be hearing you. You see? You're calling Him Jesus. Jesus goes back to Serapis Christus. All right? And they weren't even calling Him that back then. They were calling Him Jesus. See? That goes back to Serapis Christus, a false god that was really one of the Ptolemy's sons. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, I believe it might have been Ptolemy II, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Okay, but these other Israelites that don't have that name and don't push that name out, then guess what? They're leading those people into destruction. All right, all that thing is just for show, man. The whole marching in unison, turning it to the side like an army march. That's all in vain. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you're not going to really grow in the spirit. Okay, because He's only going to allow those to grow who believe upon His name. All right. Like I said, the name is of utmost importance, man. They act like the name is not important. The name is of utmost importance, man. Okay, if you don't have the name, you really don't have anything. You see? If you don't have the name, you don't have anything. The Most High is not dealing with you in any way. Well, He might be dealing with you in a way, but in order for Him to, if you're a man of the Lord, He's gonna give you the name. You see? He's going to give you the name, man. Because the scriptures also speak about us, what's that? We will be speaking Hebrew, man. The scriptures speak about us speaking Hebrew. This is Isaiah 19 and verse 18. And it says, in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan. Right? When you type in Google the language of Canaan, that's the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, man. All right? That's the language of the Canaanites. Because the land of Israel was first inhabited by who? Canaan. Okay? So Canaan spoke Hebrew. All right? And it says, and swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction, all right? Which is going to be what? Which is going to be America, Babylon the Great. Okay? But the point is that He would give us that language of Canaan in this time. That Israel would start to speak the language of Canaan. Okay? Because what we're getting back our culture. With our culture comes what? Comes a language. You see? You have to have a language with the culture, man. A way of being, man. When we wear these garments, this is going back to the ancient customs of our forefathers. You see? This is going back to the ancient customs of our forefathers, right? And the fact that we keep the high holy days and things like this, that's also going back to the ancient customs of our forefathers. And this is the reason why we do it, all right? Because the Most High said what? He said, observe the old ways. You see, find the old paths. Okay, you got to go back to what we were before. Because going back to this present day, you look at Jake now. Jake is finished, man. Jake is completely destroyed mentally, man. All right. You see? So we got to get back on that high level. Okay. That high level, because the Most High created us to be on a high level. When you look at those West Africans, like the Nigerians and things like that, they're on a higher level than really pretty much most of the people on the planet Earth. Okay. The smartest family right now in London is a Nigerian family. But that's because the way they teach their children is closer to the biblical way. You see, they weren't surrounded by Edomites and this low self-esteem and shit from Esau's media and all that bullshit. They weren't around Edomites like that. They were around their people. That's why they flourish so much in school and business and all these different things, because their mind is on a higher level. Okay, they don't think like the average Jake in the Caribbean or the Jake in the Americas. All right, because they weren't under that oppression of Esau, Edom directly like that. You see what I'm saying? They weren't surrounded by Edomites when they go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Where they have to go get business and when they go to Edomites. Not. They weren't around that type of energy. You understand? So they teach their children high self-esteem, man. Okay? Man, those Nigerians, man, they're on those West Africans, period, they're on a high level, man. They're on a real high level, man. Like, their children be impressing the hell out of me, man. I mean, that video of that 2-year-old that was rehearsing the Bible at 2 years old, man. Rehearsing the Bible, like all these verses, man, memorized, man. That is amazing. That's more genius than you can't go to. I don't think you can go to any nation and find a child of that age with that type of intelligence. You understand? You understand? But Esau will have you believe that we have low IQ. You see? Because Esau's a damn liar. And you growing up around that type of mentality and those lies are being pushed down your throat for so long, you start to mentally, psychologically believe that shit. You see? This is why Jake in America, Jake in the Caribbean, and Jamaica and all that, they have a low self-esteem compared to those Israelites in West Africa, those Jakes in West Africa. Okay? They're on a higher level, man. All right? They're on a way higher level, man. I mean, the kid was 2 years old, man. He was 2 years old reciting the Bible, reciting, what was he doing? He was doing math, doing all type of things, man, at 2 years old. Right when you start to speak, he was doing that. Because they teach their kids self-confidence. They don't teach their kids to be like these fucking black people out here, man. All right? They teach their kids self-confidence. They teach their kids that they can do great. You see? So they internalize that. You go to the hood, they talk to their kid like, oh, you stupid, you're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? So the kid starts to internalize that. You understand? Very important, man. Very important. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:6. This is Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6. And it reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth, man. All right, so that's what he did for us, man. He chose us to be a special people. All right, we're above all people on the face of the earth, man. You understand? This is the mentality that Israelites should be teaching their children, man. Not the mentality of white supremacy, man. Because that's what Israelites teach their kids, man. Because they've been taught that. You see, slavery did a number on our people, man. It did a real